I love you, Jesus. Hey, I love you, Jesus. 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 Wherever you lead us, I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. All right, well, let's get it. We'll save that for our break. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We back on the Mental Channel. We had a problem with the OBS. They came up with two new updates, and it's been screwing us over big time. But they came up with two updates, and it's really now. Hopefully, connecting this phone won't affect what we're doing here. But welcome to the Sunday Sermon. We haven't been on the Minister Channel in a minute. We've been getting hit with copyrights. Every video that we did since we got the channel back, we got copyrights on. They take them out every week, but we still maintaining 10. 10 copyrights. And we still trying to knock them out. Well, like I said, we still maintaining 10 of them been on the channel. I've been letting the copyrights run out. I put the stuff on private. I privated the videos. They still hitting them. I said, darn. We privated the videos and they still hitting us. So I said, okay, well, I'll go do something else. Because with them hitting the videos, we're not getting our little 2 or 4 cents a video. So why put the channel in danger by using it? Why put the channel in danger by using it? You know? Over on a smaller channel, trying to build that up. You know, I'll say his name. Mud Duck, you out there? Because you came on to the comment section and you said that I was a sellout and that I'm not doing the religion no more. But I checked the videos since we got the channel back, the ones that I took down. You ain't in none of them. You're not in the chat because you telling me what I should be doing, but yet you're not in the chat. There's a lot of people that ain't been showing up in the chat. I know they still watch the video because I see the views. But y'all ain't coming in the chat. The only person that's here is Nia. Liz show up sometime. Sometimes Snazzy show up. But where everybody else at? So don't believe me no comment telling me about me not being here. I'm live every day. Where you at? Remember what I said about somebody taking your seat? The train don't stay at the station. If ain't nobody coming to get on the train, why should they send one? If there ain't nobody in the seats at the concert, why should they send the band out? Check yourself before you check somebody else, is all I'm saying. Check yourself before you check somebody else. Now, I explained why we haven't been on the channel, but we are back. And it is Sunday. Let's get to it. The topic is, what does the devil want from you or need from you? Because, see, it's very hard to do. Because some people have the gift or the curse, depending on how you look at it, to be able to see what's going on around them. It can be a gift and it can be a curse. Being able to see the evil that's around you can be a gift because it allows you to avoid it or to get ready for it. But at the same time, it's also a curse because it distracts you from doing what you need to do. You know, I forgot to turn the light on. I don't care. I'm right here live. It can be a curse. Okay? Because now, instead of focusing on what you were doing, your focus is now split. And you see the things going on, and you're tempted to try to stop them before they happen, and you're not doing what you were doing. So it can be a curse also. I'm noticing that the Wi-Fi keeps coming, the Wi-Fi signal keeps coming in and out on the Hangouts. It's back now. I don't know if y'all can see it on y'all screen, but the signal is going up and down on this too. So hopefully we not skipping. Are we skipping or anything? Hopefully we not skipping. Sunday. Nia says, "Happy Sunday, you got this." Happy Sunday, Nia. Um, we're not going to talk about anything on this channel, but I am looking forward to tomorrow. Our topic today is, what does the devil want from you? There's one thing that the devil does want from you. He doesn't want you to have a relationship with Jesus and God. That's what the devil wants. He don't care how much money you got. He don't care about who you with. Long as you don't have a relationship with Jesus and God, he knows he's going to have company when it's time to jump in that furnace. His whole is key separate Jesus and God. Now I just saw myself blink. I just saw myself blink out. So it's doing it on this too. I wonder if it's just the fact that it's connected. Hold on, let me look. Let me go to now. I'm phasing in and out. What the heck? We just gonna have to say goodbye to you, sir. I think you affect. Now let's see if it happens again. I disconnected it. Let's see if it happens again. You're just gonna have to go by the wayside. That's all. All right. Is it doing it now? I really don't understand. But we are connected to the Wi-Fi, right? Yeah. So I don't see what the problem is. Like I was saying, the farther you grow from Jesus and God, the weaker you are. And that's what the devil wants. You know, I had a discussion with somebody about a week ago, might have been a little bit more. We were talking about evil. The truth of the matter is, we don't have the skills individually to deal with evil. We don't have the skills. But we do have with Jesus and God. I do believe that if we're walking with them, they will give us what we need to overcome it. But it's a fine line because you don't want to give too much of yourself that you leave yourself out there. Because the devil will hit you. Whether it's himself, whether it's his demons, or whether it's other human beings, he will hit you. So it's best to cling to Jesus and God. But I still stand behind what I say. Ask for power. Ask for the power to handle it. Ask for the power. But if you know you can't handle it, back off and let them send somebody who can. If your son is getting banked by 5 people in the middle of the street, for an elderly woman to go out there and try to stop 5 young people from beating her son up, that's not going to work. You need to get some help. And that's when you lean on Jesus and God. And that help might come in a variety of ways. It might be some people walking down the street you never seen before. But you pray and you ask the Lord to touch them, to let them intervene. These are ways that you can fight evil without actually putting your neck out there. Especially if you know you ain't no good. Your son or daughter getting banked by 5 people and you can't fight. What the heck are you going out there for, to get beat up too? Yeah, just use your common sense. We have really let ourselves go over these past 40 years. We have let ourselves go. And I don't mean when somebody say you let yourself go, they usually mean let yourself get fat. No, we let ourselves go. We let our morals go. They're gone. When you talk to a young person today, they don't have no morals. They don't have no honor. It's kind of like when you start talking to them about how you supposed to carry yourself, how you supposed to act, how you supposed to respond to authority. They look at you like you talking about something from the biblical days. They look at you like you talking about something from 60, 70 years ago. That was back in the day. We don't do that now. Well, why don't you? What happened to honor? Why we don't have any honor anymore? Ah, honor, smart. What happened to respect? Why don't we respect each other? Some of these people will kill you just as fast as they look at you. We didn't have that years ago. We actually respected each other. What happened to that? We didn't have songs talking about killing you. Where's this dreariness? This dreariness? Where's this dreariness? I call it dreary. Dreary, just a sorry outlook, just no oomph, no spark. The only time you see a spark is when they talk about violence, they talk about weed, they talk about sex. They got a spark. You talk about anything else? Hey, yeah. How you doing in school? What you gonna be when you want to grow up? Where can I get the best weed at? Right there in the road there. Right there. Go ahead. Over there. Right there. They perk up. Why is that? Why is that? How's your father doing? I don't know. I ain't never seen him. You ask a young lady, how's your father doing? Oh, he in jail. What happened to the black family? But specifically in our inner cities, where's the family? What happened to you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you put some money in the bank, you get you a nice car, you start looking for a wife. What happened to that? You started a family. What happened to that? What happened to the fact that a man used to have to work for a woman? You had to put the time and the effort in. You just couldn't walk in with a handful of bills and say, hey, come on. You had to earn your way. You had to get through the parents, the family. You had to get the father to agree to the marriage. Now, yeah, it's like the family's been taken away. It's like even if you live in a house with somebody, it's like you're still separate. And I constantly hear, I don't know why my mother was trying to be in my business. Those that got fathers, I don't know why my father always watching over me. That used to be a good thing. How is it a bad thing? It used to be a good thing. What happened to when the grandparents used to live with the families? When the parents went out to work, there was a grandparent there to watch the kids, to keep them out of trouble until the parents came home from work. What happened to that? Now we got TV watching our kids. I don't have kids of my own, but God darn it, you can't find a woman to date that ain't got no kids. And I will be appalled when I would see them sitting in front of the TV watching SpongeBob or something all day. From the moment they came home from school, they go sit in front of the TV. You don't know how many times I bought them just the regular red ball, you know, to go play the game where you throw the ball at each other. They look at me like I'm crazy. You expect us to go out there and use that? Like, yeah. The fact that they don't go play the games with each other, they're not having the interaction. If you don't have an interaction, you don't care about your fellow man. When you make kids sit in the house all day and watch TV, they kind of disconnect from the world. Nia says, hi, Davy. So the only time they get any real interaction is if you let them go outside and sit on the stoop and maybe some other child will come hang with them or wreck time at school. So you got them playing video games where they killing people or watching cartoons where people get killed over and over again and then come back to life. And then you sound surprised when they kill each other. Well, they expect the people to get back up. I ain't mad at you no more, get up. And they don't get up. But their way of thinking is, I played a video game, I killed a man, I pressed the reset button, and we do it again. There is no reset in life. Every time somebody picks up a gun and goes to shoot somebody, does it occur to them there's no reset button? Does it occur to them that that person might have a mother sister or brother that looks up to him. I'm phased out again. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. I really don't. But I came to StreamYard to see if it would be better. We're only doing 720 on StreamYard, and it says that we are low on the Wi-Fi. Uh, I don't understand that. But I'm just asking the question: what happened to us? What happened to our society? What happened to our families? Why don't we see each other as mini gods? Why do we see each other as expendable? It's not enough to carjack somebody. You gotta shoot them and leave them for dead. It's not enough to take somebody's money. You gotta leave them for dead. We got people pushing people on the subway tracks when the train coming. We got people stabbing each other on the subway for no reason. We got people going around hitting Asian people for no reason. What are you mad at the Asians for? It's your fault. Every time you go in the Asian store and buy something, you supporting them. So what you mad at them now for? You wasn't mad when you was getting that egg foo young chopped up cat dum tum. You wasn't mad at me. You know how irritating it is to walk by one of them curry outs or one of them boutiques where they sell a fake egg that you women love, and I hear somebody call somebody in there mine. What? That ain't your mother. You don't even call your mother mine, but you calling somebody of another race and care less about you. You calling them mine. If that don't tell you there's something wrong, I don't know what will. That lets you know there's something wrong right there. I have never called another woman mine other than my mother. Ever. Me, my sister, and my brother, we called our grandmother by her first name. We called our great grandmother by our first name. It took years of indoctrination through other family members before we finally switched to grandma and granny. It took years of indoctrination. So we didn't even call our grandmother and great grandmother mine. Why the hell would we call somebody from the other side of the world that's coming in there taking our money and taking it out the community? Why would we call mine? Let me know what's wrong. Let me know. Either we still vanishing. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but I see that we still vanishing, and I see them freezing. But it's okay. It's not gonna stop us. I don't know what's going on. I switched to computers. So what I'm wondering is, do I need to get an Ethernet cord that will reach from the router? Maybe the router because it's in the bedroom. I asked I asked the Comcast guy, should he put the router maybe in the dining room? He said no, it'll reach. Well, for some reason it seems to not be doing so. So I might have to get an Ethernet cord. I got a tape measurer right here. I might have to actually measure how long a cord. Cause see, we don't have a cord. When I had the antenna set up, we had a cord running through the apartment. And it's been nice not having a cord. But it looks like I might have to get an Ethernet cord because the Wi-Fi seems not to be as strong. Now, when we had it before, remember I was in one room and we had one computer and I had it on the Ethernet cord. So I'm wondering, is it better to have the Ethernet cord? Because I have a Wi-Fi adapter on the back of the PC and it's picking the Wi-Fi up from the bedroom. And maybe it's not stable because as the wind blows or whatever. But I'm noticing, I'm looking at it, and it's going. We should have all three. Y'all can't see it, but it shows you on the screen, right there on the screen, your screen. It says there's 7 people here. We've been live for 36 minutes and 37 seconds, and it's got a meter that's showing the Wi-Fi. In 1 minute, it's at none, then it's at 2, then it's at 3, then it vanishes. And I'm trying to figure out why. But anyway, excuse me, you get something to drink. I got off topic, but I really didn't. What does the devil want from us? He wants us to be as far away from God as possible. Let me say this again. He wants us to be as far away from God and Jesus as possible. Some people are so far away, they don't even know it. There are people that go around, praise Jesus and hey Lord, and they ain't nowhere. They so far apart from him in sickness. But they'll put on the illusion that they're walking with him. When they see you coming, they'll put on the illusion. But then when you watch them, you realize people are fake, man. But see, the devil's okay with that. Those people are not walking with Jesus and God. He's okay with it. He don't mind if you go to church. He don't mind if you go down there and volunteer. He don't mind if you donate to charity. You ain't doing it in the spirit of Jesus Christ or God. You doing it because you want to be seen. You want people to acknowledge you. That's why you ain't doing it. He ain't got no problem with you doing that. He ain't got no problem with you going down and volunteering. Because you'll go down there and you'll help feed the homeless. But you won't try to take none of them off the street. But you'll go down there and you'll give them some food. You'll give them some couple dollars. But you ain't going to really try and get them off the street. I told you I was amazed at the mentality of the people that we saw when we watched people living down there in the tents. Living down there in the tents of Los Angeles. Man said that he been there 15 years. You've been living in a tent on the street for 15 years. You ain't changed nothing in 15 years. You in the same spot you was 15 years ago and ain't made no improvement. People call me broke. I moved 3 times since 2017. Each place been a little bit better. Ain't been worse. You telling me that you stuck living in a tent and it's not even a nice tent for 15 years and you ain't made no progression. You ain't made no change. You ain't got no running water. You ain't got no electricity. You ain't made no changes. But they allow themselves to think that they doing okay. There's no way they walking with God and they making no changes. There's no way. You see the problems that we have with the mobile lives. Think about all the equipment and all the different cameras and mounts that we tried. Let's think about it. If I never tried to better it, we wouldn't ever move up. Because the truth of the matter is, we need to get a GoPro Fusion. And we're going to get one next stimulus. We're going to get one. But we need a GoPro Fusion or an Insta-One 360, or we need the Rollo. One of the three. I keep trying to get the cheap ones to work. And they don't work. But at least I'm trying. Even though they ain't working, at least I'm trying. How do you not try? How do you not try? You know, since when I first moved, the BG&E was $67 every month. When I was downstairs in the first apartment, it was 50. It was 67 each month. Then we switched to that plan. Don't whatever your electric company is, don't switch to one of them new companies. They said they was going to be cheaper. It was called Direct Energy. They wasn't cheaper. It was more. But I was still working at the time, and I went on to switch companies, and then I had to stop working. Like I told you, when I woke up with my own gun in my head, it was time to stop, and that's the last time that I attempted to go work. But unbeknownst to me, when you had that budget billing, it ain't your whole bill. And then one day they said, "Hey, you owe 300 and something." I was like, "No, I don't. I pay $67 every month, and I pay it." Right? So then they hit me with, "You got a $365 bill." So now instead of paying 160, I started paying 120 a month. And it wasn't until I realized that I was paying double for gas, and I was paying double electric. Them people wasn't saving me no money. I was double the money. And I wasn't working anymore. And then the winter hit, and then it grew even more. There have only been 4 times that I've had a zero gas and electric bill. And no Night by Cash can back this up. And so can the lady with the video game character name. They can back it up. I can tell you. They sent me an email of my bill today. And it's zero. For the first time since the last stimulus, my bill is zero. I want to keep it that way. Now, y'all, some of y'all will say, well, I pay my bill every month. Well, don't get that budget feeling because you think you're paying your bill. And then you turn around, yeah, the bill was really 130, but you paid 60 with the budget billing. Well, the winter time is over. Now it's summertime. It's getting warm now, so now you can pay it off because you're not going to be running the heat all day. Y'all gotta realize I got 2 air conditioners now, not just one. I got a whole apartment to cool. But my bill is zero. It's zero. And we're gonna keep it that way. That's an improvement. How do you stay under the gun? How do you stay in the same spot? How do you allow yourself to go further and further down? How you don't fight up? I'm asking you, how don't you fight up? How do you stay down? I got $3.10 to my name. But guess what? All my bills are paid, got on it. All of them. I don't owe nobody nothing. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. I don't owe nobody nothing. That's a good feeling. Not to owe nothing. I ain't got to worry about nobody calling me, asking me, nobody sending me no emails or text messages saying, hey, you didn't pay it. Everything is paid. Not only is it paid, but thanks to Nia, we got the free internet. Even though it's acting like free internet right now, but we got the free internet. So now I'm not obligated to keep this phone. I'm not obligated. I'm waiting on the Obama phone. They supposed to be sending me a tablet. I supposed to got that tablet since April. But they supposed to be sending me a tablet. Now I got a tablet in there. It's an old tablet. I'm not excited about a tablet. But just the fact that they're gonna send one. I didn't ask for it. But okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. When you down, do you stay down? I don't stay down. I get up and I start fighting. Some people will say, well, that's not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal when you putting 130, 150, 170 on the BG&E and E, and the bill not coming down. 'Cause 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 the bi You like, what? But there was a reason why I kept trying to find a good deal on the e-bike. They only gave us 1,400. They only gave us 1,400. But I got the bike, and then you saw that I was. You didn't see me doing nothing lavish. I know some of y'all were saying, well, he normally go to McDonald's and he normally go out to Valentino's because we did less stimulus. I didn't do it. I took that money and I put it where it needed to go. And that's why I proudly say my bill is zero. It's negative zero. That's an accomplishment. And y'all, some of y'all say, that's nothing. But like I said, go back 7 months ago and come back now. I was actually concerned when I moved that because I had a balance, that they weren't going to transfer the BG&E over. I had to wheel and deal because normally when you move, they make you pay off their whole balance. I started slipping them every dime I could get. Just started slipping it. And we were graced. They let me move. And they saying to themselves, this guy keeps saying he gonna do this and do that. I wonder what they saying now. Because ain't no need in sending me a bill this month. I'm sure they will do. It's gonna say a big zero. Big fat zero. And it's a blessing. It wasn't easy. It was very hard. Every time I started to do something, something else would come up and we would just duke it out. But that's what you got to do. And if you want to walk with Jesus and God, you got to be able to duke it out. You got to be able to fight. You can't just, you got to be able to stand your ground. You got them backing you up. What could you be scared of? What could you be worried about? I got stranded out there in the woods. Any one of them crazies could have came out there and drug me back in the woods. You didn't see me have any fear. You saw no fear. Freedom option. And what was the one thing I kept saying? This how you gonna let it go down, Jesus? I need your help. Come up with something. He did come up with something. He had somebody there that was telling me the right thing to do, and I didn't want to hear it because I had never used it before. But the Spirit said, go for it. And so I had to leave my comfort zone. I didn't know nothing about no daggone Uber. I seen people talk about it. I don't know about no Uber. I know we do the videos, the Uber people getting killed. They getting stabbed, they getting beat up. That's what I knew about Uber. That's what I knew about Uber. But we took the chance. And it was great. We was able to get an SUV for $22, and they got me home. It would have cost me about 35 or 40 to get home in a cab. So not only did we save the money, but I had that money set to the side for my tobacco pouches. That's what that money was set to the side for. It was set to the side for my tobacco pouches. Now, they 2 for $7 right now. And so I get my money Friday. Today is Sunday. When we went to the convenience store yesterday, I had $18. I got 4 of these for it was $7.74. It was $14.74. So I got left with $3.10. That's why I got $3.10. But if I had took the cab, I would be able to get done. So I see the blessing, and now I'm gonna have to make it on these 4. We got Monday, we got Tuesday, we got Wednesday, we got Thursday, we got Friday. So I got 5 days, and I got 4 cans. That's better odds than having no cans. That's a lot better odds. But we gonna do it. I'm gonna keep myself busy. I got a new toy to play with that's coming tomorrow. And I'm gonna stay focused on that. I purposely got the kind that I didn't like. I just popped one in now. It's irritating the heck out of me. That's why I got it. To make it last longer because I'm not gonna want to touch it, right? These are things you do to make it. But when I see other people, they don't have that drive. Where's that spark? Now I just saw myself flash out again. But that's why I'm just leaving the camera on. Let it go ahead and do it. But what does the devil want from you? He wants you as far away from Jesus Christ and Lord God, Jehovah the Father as possible. That's what he wants from you. He don't care how you look. He don't care where your standing is in society. He wants you to not have a relationship with Jesus Christ and God, and he want to use you to keep others from having a relationship with Jesus and God. That's what he wants from you. He don't care if you're in the gutter. Don't care if you're in a mansion. He don't want you to have a relationship with Jesus and God. And if you happen to have some power, he wants to use your power to keep more people from having a relationship with Jesus and God. If you got a person in your family that's religious, watch them. Watch how many people float around them trying to stop them from going to church, trying to stop them from praying, trying to stop them from getting other believers. Watch, just watch the person. You'd be surprised. People come out the woodwork. Why do they come out the woodwork? Because there's a demonic voice in their head telling them, stop them. They're going to bring people. Stop them. See, the devil don't care what you're doing as long as you ain't having a relationship or bringing other people to have a relationship. When you really get in contact with the spirit, you see stuff you don't want to see. You know, people say, well, why are you so good at roasting? How can you roast people that you don't even know? Because you start to see things that other people don't see or don't want to see. And you're able to use that. Don't let what I said go over your head. When your spirit is activated and you talk to it and it talks to you, you find out things. Some things you found out you don't want to know. You'll be surprised how many TMI situations that you had. That could be somebody who you couldn't stand for the longest time. You get in touch with your spirit, and one day you see him, and then you see something you didn't see before. Wait a minute, this person got a lot on him. Wait a minute, this person got a debilitating disease. Wait a minute, this person's family ain't worth two pieces of crap. And you find yourself saying, you know what? Instead of hating on this person, I need to help him. That's what happens when you get your spirit activated. You start to see things in a whole new way. You start to find out that people that you can't stand, they actually are doing better than you think. Because you judging them. These people are totally different than the image you see. And when you're able to see that, you're able to look ahead. You're able to say, oh Lord, here it comes. And you find yourself, oh, that's nasty. You find yourself actually starting to like the person. It been some people that when you see them, you just want to punch them. But when you get the spirit, and then you realize from your selfish angle, this person might look like somebody that you might want to beat up. But when you get the spirit, you actually can look into their soul almost, and you can say, wait a minute, this person is going through stuff you could never imagine. And you just add to it by going against it. You're adding to it. Everybody else don't see it. And when they see you being cordial to this person, other people will come up to you and say, hey, what you messing with that fool for? You know the person ain't no good. Why ain't he no good? Well, I heard he did this. I heard she said that. Who you hear from? Everybody know. Who's everybody? Well, see, that's when you find out. People create an image of you, or they hear about an image of you from somebody else, when in reality, it's not based in fact. In reality, it's not based in fact. And this is something that happens a lot. And when you get in touch with the spirit, you're going to see it. The devil don't want you to do this because he's got these images, these innuendos, these narratives set up. This person is that, that person is this. You got to avoid this. You got to attack that. When you can start seeing through true eyes, through your true eyes, when you can start seeing things that happen, it's going to make you say, whoa, wait a minute. I've been taught wrong. Everything that I know was wrong. When you do that, you are enemy of the devil. When you have the ability to do that, you are an enemy at that point. And everything gonna start rolling. Every person he can send to you to discourage whatever you're trying to do, any government agency he can send against you, anything he can do, even go after your health, he'll do anything to keep you from having that relationship. And the only thing that make him more angrier than having a relationship with Jesus and God, encouraging other people to do it. Now you number one. All of a sudden you're gonna lose your job or get demoted. The person that you thought was the sorriest worker is now your boss. How the heck you get demoted? All of a sudden you've been parking at this place while you go to work for years. Now you starting to get ticketed. Every time you turn around, you got a ticket. Like that done. Just small things. Your kids were straight A students. Now they turned into punk rockers and hip hoppers out the blue. Now they gang members. You didn't even know you had a gang in your neighborhood. You're like, what is going on? Trying to fill your life with trouble and drama and get you to deal with that and not focus on your relationship with Jesus and God. If you don't understand that, there's no way for you not to go into that furnace of fire. If you do not understand, you are in a war, a silent war. But if you open your eyes, you see it. But you got to open your eyes. The only way to open your eyes is to activate your spirit. Once you start looking through the spirit's eyes, you can see the things that's going on around you. You can see how things are set up to be a certain way. And you can start to fight against it. But once you do, once you enter the battle, everything that you care about is going to fall away. It's going to get attacked. Everything. I'll give you an example. Go back to 2018. Look at the chats we had. Go back to 2019. Look at the chats we had. 2020. We went full religion. Look at the chats we had. Come to 2021. Look at the chats we had. Some of you would say you was doing a lot better back in 2018. Some of you say you was doing better in 2019. Some of you would say you was doing better before you got monetized on this channel. I would say you're absolutely right. If that's what you call better. Did we have more people in the chat? Yes, we did. But why did we have more people in the chat? We were hurting people. We were hurting people mentally. not physically. Physical wounds heal. We were hurting people mentally. People like that because they're hurting. And when you hurting, it feels good to see somebody else hurting. But when we stop, what happens? People stop coming. When the people will come over here and they will try to bring the hurt to us, we will block them. People will say, well, why do you block them? Because they don't want help. And if you don't want help, you have to get rid of people because they're going to work behind the scenes. And we've had several people that have worked behind the scenes. We got rid of them. But even though the chat is smaller, the views ain't changed that much. But they're money. Why don't the views change? People are not coming in the chat, but they still watching the show. Because they still enjoy the show. It's just that they don't see a reason to say anything. Because we're not talking about nobody. They don't have nothing intelligent to bring. That's why they don't come. We're considered boring. As I tell you, being boring is a blessing. Because boring is another word for stable. And I'd rather be stable than to be up and down. Because the majority of the people that get looked up to, they up and down. Y'all understand what up and down mean? Up and down, up and down. I'd rather be stable. If we're gonna do 50 views a video, okay. I ain't gotta act the fool. I ain't gotta hurt nobody's feelings. I ain't gotta do things that God and Jesus can't stand. We maintain 50 views, cool. Sometimes we'll get 100, sometimes we'll get 120, sometimes we'll only get 30. But that's stable. Well, you make a lot more money if you go back into that beefing. You mean I would get more donations to hurt people? That's what you're saying. But you want me to do something that Jesus and God don't like just to get money. What good is money gonna do me on Judgment Day? What good is money gonna do me when I'm being thrown in the furnace of fire? What good is the money gonna do you? It ain't gonna do you no good. Money just allows you to buy things down here on earth. I'm down here on earth auditioning to get to the next level. If I put all my eggs into what's down here on earth, I'm gonna wind up in the lake of fire. That's that money. For all y'all that's worried about your cars, worried about your houses, worried about having somebody attracted to one your own, and you going out there and doing everything, breaking every rule and every law and all your morals just to get these things. What good is it in the end when you don't get to continue on? What good is it? Like my song says, you can't take it with you. Who gonna keep you company while you're down there on the hot coals? Who gonna keep you company when you're thrown in that furnace and poof? Who's gonna help you? What can help you? And that car gonna help you? No, you can't take it with you. So you sacrificing everything. You sacrificing everything. What do you get back? You're getting back death. Sin is anything that God hates. And if you love sin, the ending is death. The devil knows this, and he still sins anyway. And he wants you to sin so you can go right with him. His job is to take as many of us into that furnace with him. He don't have the common sense. For all his power and hocus pocus, he don't have the sense to let his ego go. Do you have the sense to let your ego go? You got the sense to say, hey, you know what? It's nice to be in this gang and we shooting up the city and selling drugs and we just doing everything, you know? Hey, you got to pay a price for it. Are you willing to pay the price? I was on another YouTuber show last month. Shout out to RE. I was on her show last month and I started talking religion and she put on a video. I guess she thought her people wouldn't want to hear any religious talk. And the chorus, the first line was, if you scared, go to church. I thought, and Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, hey, do your thing. That was the stupidest thing I ever heard. If you scared, go to church. But if you were real in, come put in work. No, if you a real person, come put in work and bring people into the church. If you want to do some real work, because walking around with a gun doesn't make you a man or a woman. It makes you a sissy. You can't depend on your mind and your wits. You got to depend on a weapon to get you out of trouble. The only time a man should have a weapon is if he knows somebody coming to get him that has a weapon. But if you're walking around with a weapon depending on it to protect you, back in the biblical days, they had swords they carried around. Today, we have guns. But the same thing applies. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the knife, die by the knife. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Live by the bomb, die by the bomb. The weapons have upgraded, but the saying still applies. If you need to walk around with a gun, you ain't no man or woman. You's a wuss. The fact that you can't sit down and discuss your issues. If I got a problem with you, I'm going to come talk to you. What's the problem? Now, if we can't work the problem out, then we come to fists. And the loser of that match should go about his business. You can't beat that person. Why you keep trying to go against them? But to go home and get a gun and come back and shoot everybody but the person you mad at, because that's what y'all doing. Tell me how that makes sense. But there's always a child or somebody old ain't got nothing to do with it. They want to want to big. An old man told me a long time ago. He said, if it's somebody you can't beat, go under their wing or go under the radar. But if you keep going at them, one of y'all gonna be in jail and one of y'all gonna be in the graveyard. You ever heard that before? Have you ever heard that before? If you keep bucking heads with somebody who you physically can't beat, I was told growing up, you either go under their wing or you go under the radar, which means wherever they go, you don't go. If they go to this diner and hang out, you don't go there. If they hang out at this club, you don't go there. It's one or the other. But if you keep trying to go head to head, one of you gonna wind up in jail, the other one's gonna wind up in the grave. Y'all never heard that before? If y'all haven't heard that, why haven't you? I heard it. Why didn't y'all hear it? I was told that back in 1980, what, 1982? This was before the crack epidemic. This was before NWA, before Luke Skywalker. If that phrase had become popular, that might not have been in NWA. That might. When I tried to tell my friends what I heard, I got laughed at. I'll be 51 in 30 something days. If I go out there now and tell you what I just told you, if I tell the young boys out there, they're going to laugh at me like they did back in 1981. Just because they might laugh at me, that doesn't mean it's not my job to tell them. Let them marinate. Just because they might make fun of me. Get on out of here with that church stuff. We don't want to hear that mess. That's a problem. It's a big problem. Let's look at some articles here. Let's check this out real quick. 6 things Satan wants for your life. The enemy has a plan for your life to steal, kill, and destroy. God calls us to be alert and of sober mind, watching out for the schemes of the devil who prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. 1 Peter 5:8. The devil wants to devour our lives, keeping us from the joy of living in a relationship with Jesus. Number one, the devil wants you to doubt God. In John 20, the disciples shouted that they had seen Jesus raised from the grave, but Thomas's doubt kept him from believing in the miracle of salvation. Jesus appeared to Thomas and said, "Stop doubting and believe." John 20:27. Thomas was one of the disciples. But when Jesus appeared to the other 11, he wasn't there. He didn't believe it. That's where the phrase doubting Thomas comes from. This disciple didn't believe. And he didn't believe until Jesus came and showed him where they had stuck him with the spear. He didn't believe. How many people do you know that can tell you the Bible from back to forth? But when you listen to them speak, you can tell they don't believe. They don't even believe what they're saying. They're trying to get you to believe it. They don't even believe it. It's almost robotic. When the devil tempts you to doubt God, don't let your circumstance determine your God. Let God determine your circumstance. This is what I was talking about earlier. Circumstances, drama you might encounter, people you might encounter may make you say to yourself, Jesus, where you at? God, where you at? But you got to remember that there is a way out. Sometimes that way out ain't the way you want. Sometimes the way out is not the way you want it to be. I was an example the other day. I used to drive a cab. So I got faith in the cab drivers. But you saw a cab driver show up. They didn't want to be bothered. And I had to try a different way. If I didn't try a different way, I would have been out there until 6 or 7 in the morning when the people that drive the vans come out. My way wasn't working. The way I know. This is what I mean by sometimes you gotta let what you go. What you know go. You gotta let it go. I was out there an hour longer than I should have been. Nia had suggested an Uber an hour beforehand. And I spent an hour trying to do it the way I know. And finally the spirit said, hey, sit down here on this rock and try this. And even though we was in a wooded area, I didn't get bit not by not one mosquito. We was in a wooded area, not one bug crawled on me. We didn't see no deer. We didn't see no snakes. We didn't even see a squirrel. We had all those lights on the bike. I don't have not one mosquito bite. How's that possible? I don't have no mosquito repellent. if I didn't look at the good things that were being done for me. Not to mention, I was a black man in an all white neighborhood. The fence to that first house, 1025, it had barbed wire on it. And I wondered, was it electrified? I would have never touched it. But I sat there the whole time we were out there. Not one person bothered. I stood out like a sore thumb. You think you can be stranded in the hood and nobody won't come mess with you? We were stranded. We didn't get bothered by nobody. But if y'all remember the video, when we first starting out, people were telling me, get off the bike, give me my bike, bring my bike here, let me ride it. And you hear me comment. But when I go where I don't belong, don't nobody say nothing to me. Isn't that weird? The people that should be saying, hey boy, what you doing out here? Not a person. What that says is I can go anywhere because I'm protected. I don't have to be afraid to go nowhere. And y'all see a lot of times I go out and do things that maybe I shouldn't. But I know there's going to be a way out. There's going to be a way out. Number two, for you to live in fear. Fear is not the absence of faith. It is the misplacement of it. The devil doesn't want to rob us of our faith. He wants our faith to be in anything but God. Life in Christ is life not in fear. That's what I just said. Said in a different way. Fear is not the absence of faith, it's the misplacement of it. When you hear me say, is there anybody upstairs? When you hear me say, is anybody paying attention? What am I saying? It sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. What it is I'm reminding myself that even though things look dire, even though things look lost, even though it looked like there's no way to go, I know they got something planned. And I'm like, where is it? I know there's an answer. What is it? Why are you keeping it from me? I know you see down the road what I can't see. I know that there's an answer there. I'm just not seeing it. Help me see it. Where you at? Wake up so you can wake me up. I see what's going wrong, but where's the solution? See, there's a difference between moaning and groaning and actually reaching out. Think about it for a second. I used to work for both of those companies that I called. And I called the first company and they told me to call the other company. I called the other company. They told me to call the first company. That company told me to call the first company again. Like what? But we went through the paces. But just imagine, I didn't tell the people who I was. They might have remembered, they might not have. But I called from a good neighborhood. That was a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, I love to live there if I had a car. I didn't realize that Uber was so far advanced. That man got there quick. He got there quick. I was in shock how fast that man got there. And it would have been easier, if I would have got the same kind of car, the same kind of car as the cab that came to pick me up, it would have only cost $14 to get home. If I would have got the midsize, it would have only cost $18 to get home. But I went with the big mumbo jumbo, and it cost 22 something to get home. Do y'all see that even if I had it cheaped out, I could have still been stuck there? Because the first two cars, even though they were cheaper, the bike might not fit in. But now, I got the app on the phone. They got my information already. We got Big Sexy coming tomorrow. And if I ever have a problem, I know to get the Tundra and get home. If we ever do that again. It's gonna be a long time before I go to it'll be a long time before I go ride the woods again, let me tell you. It'll be a long time before I go ride the woods again. And I'm not joking. It'll be a long time before I go ride the woods again. Don't think I didn't. Don't think it wasn't fun. Yeah, it might be a long time before we go to the woods again. But let's get back to the topic here. See, fear is not the absence of faith. You can still have faith and be scared. For a lot of people to say they ain't scared, they lying to you. A person that's not scared is really easy to beat. You know how when you watch the horror movie, the person that's always got the chest puffed up and I ain't scared of Jason, they're the first ones to get killed. Y'all notice that? The people that say they ain't scared and trying to show off, those are the people that get killed. They scared, but they don't want you to know it. If we in a situation, I'm not concerned about with somebody else. I'm concerned about, hey, what do I need to do to get out of this situation? Not how people are going to think of me because they're no help. So why am I worried about what they think? Let that marinate for a second. You had people telling me do this, do that. When I ask somebody, hit the cash app so I know I got enough to get home, all of a sudden there were no more ideas. But thank God for Nia. She kept saying, get an Uber, get an Uber. And that was all I needed. The devil don't want our faith to be in Jesus or God. He don't want us to walk with him. We walk with Jesus and God, we do something that he can't do. We have the opportunity for eternal salvation. We already know the Antichrist, the beast, and the devil are the first ones in the lake of fire. That's already written down in stone. But you don't have to go in. It's your choice. And the devil think that he hurting God by taking you with him. He believes that he hurting God by taking you with him. So are you gonna let him take you with him? But I'll read this again. Fear is not the absence of faith. It is the misplacement of it. Did y'all hear that? Fear is not the absence of faith. It's the misplacement of it. You know what misplacement means? When you are afraid, it's not that you're a scaredy cat, but it makes you leave your connection with Jesus and God. And you say, I got to do this myself. And that's where the devil wants you. I don't want to lean on Jesus and God. I'm going to do it myself. And as we all know through history, man can't do nothing except build stuff. Every society we make is a daggone mess when we do it on our own. That's just fact. That's what the devil wants. He wants our faith to be in anything but God. He don't care about us having faith. You can have faith in yourself. You can have faith in your husband or your wife. You can have faith in your kids. You can have faith in the police. The police will protect me. You can have faith in the military. The devil don't care. He don't want you to have faith in Jesus and God. I hope that I'm expressing this the right way. Life in Christ is in life, not in fear. If you live in your life with Jesus Christ, you're not living in fear. That don't mean go jump in front of a bullet, but it means don't be afraid. That's why I say always look a person in the eye. Psalms 34:4 says, I sought the Lord and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. When you are afraid, do you turn to the Lord or do you turn to the people or things around you when you are afraid? See, y'all tried to get me the other day when I told y'all that a young man was in the street, had walked by me, and he stopped. And the guy that with him was like, what are we stopping for? And he came over and started asking me questions about the bike. Now, while he was standing there, I was praying that he wouldn't try anything. And then when he reached for the bike, I reached in my pocket and he backed off and then went about his business. I didn't lose my faith because my prayer in my mind went from, all right, he's going to go for it. Since you couldn't stop him, give me the power to stop him. That's what my prayer went to. Let me hit him with this wasp spray, and that should be enough to run him off. And if it's not, give me the power that when I hit him, that he go down and stay down or run away. That was what I was praying. If he thought that he was going to jack me in front of my own damn house, you going to jack a child of God in front of his own house and you ain't got no gun? Because I already checked his body. He didn't have no gun in his dick. Wasn't no gun in his back pants. He didn't have no room. No place for a weapon. You going to jack me in front of my own house? Oh, no. You got a fight on your hands. And he went about his business. I rode by him. When we went out yesterday, he didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Act like I didn't say him. You got people that think that they can just come take something that don't belong to them and that you ain't supposed to give them no opposition. If you're afraid and you don't think you can win and it's not nothing debilitating, let them have it. If you think you can win and the odds in your favor, and you prayed and asked this person to keep going, and they don't, in the same way that Pharaoh could have let them Israelites go, could have let them Hebrews go the first time Moses went. He could have let them go the second time Moses went. Could have let them go the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. is with the seventh time. That's how I look at life. You have opportunities to say, hey, this is something I shouldn't fool with. But if you continue to do it, once you make that move, it's on. It's on. And I'm not praying to kill you. I'm not praying to cripple you. I'm just praying to stop you. Learn the difference. Stopping somebody. The last fight that I lost, when I stopped the fight, I was winning it. I started off losing, but I started landing. A friend of the guys that I was fighting, I didn't see him at first, but he was hiding behind a pole and he was jabbing out with a rusty. I don't know where this knife came from. I've never seen one like that, but that thing was old and rusted. He must have found it in a junkyard somewhere. When I thought about that knife getting in my bloodstream, that made me stop the fight. Some people say you was winning. Why'd you stop? I said, suppose he'd have stuck me with that knife. I'm dealing with his friend. And I get stabbed from behind. I'm out there laying out there dying. Ain't nobody gonna help me. I said, this is a time. I stopped and they stopped. And the dude came in and acted like he was the king of the hill. And to the next fight I had. Next fight I had, I totally obliterated that person. Now the person come in, didn't say it no more. But the fact of the matter is, if he would have swung on me one on one, he got the crap beat out of him. But see, he even knew that. Because the reputation kept growing as I kept getting in more fights. 31 altogether. From 07 to 16, I was in 31 altercations. My record is 30-1. And I didn't get hurt in none of them. In all 31 fights, I never got hurt. But the other people that was on the security detail were. Even the owner. Not a scratch on me. That's God. And I ain't no athlete. I ain't no superhero. But that first fight, I didn't like my performance. It took me too long to get into it. I started working out. I started going down to the lake and jogging around it. I started beating the trees up. If I'm knocking down trees, I'm sure gonna knock down a person. And I went to work every day and I was nice to everybody and I was respectful. But they knew if you go too far, I'll get out there with you and scrap. They know it. And I got my respect. And that's what you want. You want respect. You don't want people to be afraid of you. You just want them to acknowledge you and respect you. I had a dude say he was gonna come blow my head off. I said, you standing here right now. Why you gotta go get a gun and you're a punk? And everybody started laughing at him. That dude never came back in. Somebody that don't have God with them, that person would have came back with the gun and blew the head off. Know your power, know your worth, and know your limits. If you inside a place and there's 5 people outside waiting for you with guns, why would you walk out there? That don't make any sense. That don't make you a punk. That make you stupid. You don't go out there and with 5 people that got guns that's waiting on you. That's a time when you call the police. And they're gonna send somebody to come peek and see if the coast is clear. And when you see that person, you beat the crap out of them and you send them limping back. I bet you they won't come. I bet you they won't come back. That's growing up in the hood 101. Number 3, for you to feel insecure, don't let the devil tell you that you are unloved or not good enough. You are God's handiwork, and in Christ, we are not only good enough, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. Don't let the devil tell you that you are unloved or not good enough. I gave y'all this example. I gave y'all this example a while ago. I told you that there's a voice in your head. That voice in your head determines how you treat people that come around you. If you go to a party and somebody come through the door and everybody go, wow, hey, check out that person. That voice in your head says, he ain't all that, she ain't all that. If you want a job and you know you suck at the job and you know you forever late and not showing up, time for the promotion come around, somebody that's there an hour before the shift start and leave an hour later, you know that person is 10 times the worker you is. But they get the promotion. And whether you sit around, I ain't all that, I should have got promotion. Why should you get promotion? You suck. That's the devil in your head telling you to say that. And if you listen to it and believe it, get ready to get in that furnace. Stop letting the devil make you feel like you ain't nothing. I was in RE chat last week. I just went and say hi. I didn't just wanted to say hi. That was it. I came in to say hi. Some troll started making fun of my teeth. I got Medicare and Medicaid. If I was concerned about my teeth, I'd have been got it done. If it was a concern, I would have been took care of it. Doesn't cost me nothing. Don't y'all understand it? It doesn't cost me nothing. If I was concerned about how I look, I wouldn't be in front of the camera all the time. When it's time to go to the dentist, I'm not going to have to look for him. He's going to look for me. So obviously that's not a priority. But it's coming. I didn't pay that person no mind. They were trying to draw me into a roast battle. I paid that person no mind and kept right on talking about other things. And he didn't say nothing else to me, he or she. I ignored the heck out of him. But the devil put something in that person's mind to come at me, and he hoped that I would take the bait. I ignored the heck out of him. I just typed in the chat, hey, I just stopped by to say hi. How you and your chat going? I'm doing my own thing. I'm laying low. I ain't got no problem with nobody. Somebody came right in, started making fun of my grill. I didn't pay them a bit of mind. They got their feelings hurt. I didn't pay them a bit of mind. That's how you got to do people. They try to draw you in. That person is having a miserable life. My life is not miserable. Why do I want to join that person? You ain't got nothing better to do than sit in somebody's chat and jump on somebody for no reason. There's something wrong with you. You in some kind of pain. I told him, I said, I'm doing very well. So everybody in the chat, I said, I'm doing well. And left it at that. You can't let people direct your life. Let Jesus and God direct your life. When people see you doing well, they want to knock you down. They want to go around and brag that they knock you down. Those people will always be down. They'll always be miserable. They'll never be happy unless they're making somebody else unhappy. People that's hurt other people. Why do you want to be around people that like to hurt you? Why do you want to be around other people that like to hurt you? Don't let the devil tell you that you're not loved or that you're not good enough. You are good enough. For a person to be born, we were all once a sperm amongst hundreds of other sperm. And to hit that egg, you had to be better, faster, quicker than the other sperm. Everybody that's born is somebody great. Everybody. Everybody that's born is somebody great. 4, for you to avoid the church. The more uninvolved you become with the body of Christ, the harder it is to persevere in your faith. It isn't easy to follow Jesus in a world that doesn't. When we leave the community we were made for, we are destined to be devoured. 1 Corinthians 12. The more uninvolved you become with the body of Christ, the harder it is to you to persevere in your faith. It isn't easy to follow Jesus in a world that doesn't. When we lead the community we were made for, we are destined to be devoured. Let's break that down. You know what your shortcomings are. The devil knows what they are too. And he tries to separate you from positive people. He wants you to be around negative people, which separates you from your relationship with Jesus and God. Because you start doing things that you know they don't like. Because see, it's hard. It's hard to stay. What they used to say back in the day, it's hard to stay straight. It's hard to stay on the right path. There's so much temptation to do everything wrong. So much temptation to cheat, lie, and steal, and just ease your way through life instead of doing it the hard way. And then money. Up until the doctors told me that I should never work again a day in my life, guess what I did every day of my life? I worked. And even though they told me to stop working, I still kept finding ways to work. The last 3 times I could have been killed, as I keep telling y'all. Remember that saying, 3 strikes and you're out? I kept falling asleep. When I woke up with my own gun in my head, that's it. It's time. They right. The only time I rest when I'm outside is when I'm in the market. Because I know I can fall asleep. If I fall asleep inside the market, I'm inside the market. People probably laugh and walk by. Most people won't mess with you. The bike is outside, chained up, alarmed up. As long as I'm on the bike, I ain't no chance of going to sleep. You gotta look out for potholes and for cars, and you have to be alert. There's no way. It would be near impossible. Y'all noticed that I stood up most of the time when I was stranded. I was concerned that if I sat down too long, I might fall asleep. That's why I don't like riding the subway, don't like riding the bus, don't like, don't want to take no mobility bus, no nothing, because I will fall asleep. And it's not intentional. I'll just fall asleep out of nowhere. But being on a bike, you have to be alert. You fall asleep, you wind up in the hospital with dead. You gotta pay attention. You're always in motion. That's why I like it. Put me behind the wheel of a car, I might cause a 10 power car lineup. You can't let people get you to do things that you know ain't right. And for me to do that, it's not right because it's not just me. I could affect somebody else's life. 5, for you to be led astray. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. Matthew 7:15. When we rely on the words of men or ourselves in place of God's word, we can lead others away from Jesus and be led away from his truth ourselves. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm using this phone to watch the chat on and it just died. So I plugged it up to the computer. I hope it don't mess it up. But this used to be the phone that used to run everything. You know you're wrong for that. I ain't gonna say that. You know you're wrong for that. Come on, man. I don't know what I'm doing this for. I know nobody ain't said nothing. Yep, he ain't said nothing since Davy. All right. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. When we rely on the words of men or ourselves in place of God's words, we can lead others away from Jesus and be led away from his truth ourselves. This is a good point here. I want y'all to listen to this. People will come to you. I'm coming to you. People will come to you acting like they know what they're talking about, acting like they holy. But if they teaching you to draw away, if they are teaching you not to rely, not to consult, not to depend on Jesus Christ and God, they are false prophets. They are fake. Men seem to think they know everything and they seem to think that they got it and then find out they don't know nothing. And if you let people, because somebody seems to be the loudest or somebody seems to be the boldest, check out what they say. If what they say doesn't match up, you know they fake. I don't care how they look, don't care how much money they got, don't care what kind of clothes they wearing, don't care if it's grandma, favorite nephew. If what come out their mouth don't match up with the word, if what they say tries to put a rift between you, Jesus, and God, that person is fake. And have the courage to stand up and say, hey, what you say sound nice, but it ain't nice for me. I roll with Jesus and God. I don't roll with man. I don't roll with the devil. I roll with Jesus and God. And what you preaching is trying to get me to get away from that I don't want nothing to do with you. And if you can't do that, you go in a lake of fire. We've been doing this for years. For all the people that come through here and say fake preacher, fake minister, fake whatever, ain't nobody ever came here and told you one thing I told you that was wrong. Not one. Not one troll, not one person has ever came through here. They won't even debate me. And came here and told you he don't know the Bible or anything, but anything that come out my mouth, they can't debate. So who's fake? Anything that I say, they have not been able to debunk. But I've debunked some of them. All right, y'all. And number 6, for you to fail, the devil wants to destroy us. He wants us to settle for what the world has given us and accept our lots. 2 Corinthians 4:8-10 says, we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry around in our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. When you feel like you're going to lose, take heart. Jesus already won for you. Let's break this down. The devil wants to destroy us. He wants us to settle for what the world has given us and accept our lots. Right. He wants you to not get the power, the blessings, the faith, the security of a relationship with Jesus Christ and God. He wants us to get all of that from what's in the world, through our cars, through our houses, through our jobs, through our money, through people. That's where he wants our faith and loyalty to be, where he has control, because he can control the people who control these things. Thereby, he can control you. But when you stand out on your own, when you do your own thing, when you proudly let the world know that you belong to Jesus and God, they gonna come for you. They gonna come for you, and things are gonna happen. And some people are gonna fold, and they gonna go run to the devil. But the strong, they gonna persevere. They gonna hang in there, and they gonna get the blessings. If you walking with Jesus and God, and can't nobody see a progression in you, whether it be in your spirituality, whether it be in your step, whether it be how you dealing with other people. If nobody sees no kind of progression in you, you're not walking with Jesus and God. You're not. And you are fooling yourself. You got to realize that Jesus died on the cross so you don't have to get in that lake of fire. Jesus has already won the battle for you. You just got to stick and move while you're down here on this earth. Stick close to Jesus and God. Shun the devil and anybody who got any of his ideas. and narratives and innuendos. Shrug it off and ignore it. Step on it. Walk away from it. Cling to Jesus and God. That's your answer right there. Maintain a relationship. Don't be like Job. Job was the most upright man on earth, but Job wasn't walking with God. Abraham, the father of the Israelites, wasn't considered that smart of a man, but guess what? He walked with God. Moses wasn't considered a smart man, but he walked with God. Are you walking with God? If you don't want to be devoured by the devil, stop doubting and believe. That's John 20:27. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any comments? Any questions? Let me see what FedEx is saying. Still saying the same thing. Oh, now it said Sunday. Now it's saying still pending. Yeah, you full of crap. Told y'all we're coming till Monday. It been saying all day it was coming today. Now it's saying it's pending. No delivery date is available. What happened to Monday? Yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's get back to business here. We haven't done. It's 10:50. It's getting kind of late. Uh, we haven't done the CV numbers in a while. So I went to the bathroom real quick. Let me play something for y'all and run to the bathroom real quick. I thought we didn't we have a song playing? Did I get rid of it? So what's the song that's in? All right. All right, tell them back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I had to go. Let me get rid of that. All right. All right, y'all can see it on your screen. Let's take a look at the CV number. We haven't done it in a while. We got 34,494,677 known cases of the coronavirus. We got 619,424 people that have succumbed to the coronavirus. All right, y'all know Sundays are always lower. We know that California knows how to party in the city of LA, where they wish the gangs and the COVID-19 will go away. I'm talking about California. They picked up 855 new cases today. They lost 31 people. They got over 2 million infected. They got over 2 million infected. Texas, 311 new cases. They lost 9 people today. They got 2.9 million infected. No stats for Florida. New York, New York, you're a native New Yorker. Ah, you're a native New Yorker. They got 370 cases. They lost 14 people. They got 1.9 million infected. Illinois, no stats. Pennsylvania, they picked up 97 new cases. They lost 11 people today. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Hold on a sec. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm reading the wrong numbers. Hold on a sec. I was going to say, something don't sound right. Hold on. Let me bring it down some. All right, let's do that again. My bad. I knew the numbers were high. All right, I'm sorry. California has 1.7 million still infected. Texas has 51,500 infected. Florida has 150,000 infected. New York has 192,000 infected. Okay. No stats for Illinois. Pennsylvania, 97 new cases. They lost 11 people. They got 13,500 infected. Georgia, Georgia on my mind. I caught the midnight train to Georgia, and I'm bringing the COVID that I caught in California. They got 228 new cases, and they lost none. They got 68,000 infected though. Ohio, 155 new cases reported today, and they lost none. They got 7,400 infected. New Jersey, 150 new cases reported today. They only lost three. They got 21,500 infected. Ain't nothing finer than the mountain inclines of North Carolina. No stats. Michigan, what up, though? No stats. Arizona, 436 new cases. And they lost none. They got 12,000 infected though. Tennessee, Tennessee, no stats. Indiana, ooh no stats. Massachusetts, 31 new cases reported. They lost one person. They only lost one. They got 1,400 infected though. Virginia, 149 new cases. They only lost five. They got 611,000 infected though. Wisconsin, no stats. Missouri, or should I say Missouri, 655 new cases reported today. And they lost none. They got 49,000 affected though. Minnesota, 97 new cases reported today. They lost four. They only lost four. They got 767 infected in Minnesota. Ain't nothing finer than the coastal lines of South Carolina. No stats. Colorado, or should I say Colorado, 233 new cases. And they lost none. They got almost 97,000 infected. Alabama, I said Alabama, no stats. Louisiana, no stats. Oh, shucky ducky, it's time to go to Mitchell McConnell, state of Kentucky. And guess what? They got no stats. Ain't nobody caroling in my state of Maryland. I said, ain't nobody caroling in my state of Maryland. 66 new cases in my state today. We only lost three. We still got 441,500 infected though. Oklahoma, no stats. Washington State, no stats. Quick draw McGraw, let's go to Utah. 282 new cases. They lost 8 people today. They got 7,000 infected. Iowa, 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 Iowa. 113 new cases. They only lost two. They got 32,500 infected though. Connecticut or Connecticut, no stats. Arkansas, no stats. Nevada, no stats. You got M.I. Cookie letter I. Cookie letter I. Humpback I. Mississippi, no stats. Kansas, we gotta sneeze on down the road. We gotta sneeze on down the road. When you got that COVID-19, you can't carry no load. Come on, we gotta sneeze on down the road. No stats. Nebraska, no stats. Oregon, 138 new cases today, and they lost none. They got 14,500 infected. New Mexico, I said New Mexico, no stats. Idaho, Idaho. I said Idaho. I said Idaho. I said Idaho. No stats. West Virginia. No stats. Oh, it's time to roll that R. I said Rhode Island. No, we got to roll that R. I said Rhode Island. No stats. South Dakota. No stats. It's time to go watch Tito Santana wrestle in that raggedy state of Montana. They got no stats. North Dakota. They got 6 new cases today, and they lost none. They got 147 infected. Delaware. I said Delaware. They picked up 25 new cases today, and they lost none. They got 861 new cases today. New Hampshire, no stats. It's a pain to live in Maine. It's so mundane, plain, 'cause everything looks the same. Oh, it's so boring. It's bound to leave you snoring. It's a pain, a strain to live in Maine. Hit the chorus. It's so boring. It's bound to leave you snoring. It's a pain to live in Maine. Maine, they picked up 13 new cases today, and they lost none. No active stats. No stats for Alaska. Wyoming. 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 No stats. District of Columbia. No stats. Hawaii. Hawaii 5-0. 51 new cases of the coronavirus reported today, and they lost none. No active stats. Vermont, no stats. We almost done, y'all. We got to do Puerto Rico. We got to roll that R. Come on, y'all. We ain't done this in a while. Can we roll that R? I said it's time to go to Puerto Rico. 261 new cases reported today, and they lost none. They got 150,000 infected on the island. Guam, no stats. Virgin Island, no stats. Maria Island, no stats. American Samoa, no stats. United States military, no stats. Veteran Affairs, they lost, we picked up 81 new cases, but they lost to 14, 15, still infected. No stats for the Navajo Nation, no stats for the federal prisons. Get to our totals. So far that we know of, 34,494,677 people have been struck with the coronavirus. New cases today, 4,740. Total deaths so far, 619,424. 93 people died today that we know of, and we got almost 5 million walking around infected. Those are the stats, and well, they don't look good, but they look a lot better than the last time we looked. They look a lot better. Since we're here on this channel, let's look for a couple news stories. Now, I haven't checked the news out in a minute, so. Oh, here we go. On the subway. That's a commercial. Yeah. Hey. Mm. ain't, ain't gonna change. People keep getting on the subway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do a commercial and it ain't. Oh, well, let's see what this is. That's not Fox, is it? Well, let's see real quick. News 4 Jax. Okay. Well, that was over there. Let me do a refresh. Okay, Nia says there ain't no Sam. All right, then well, we ain't gonna worry about it. It's not gonna worry about it then. Alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. Um, for those that want to come, I'm going to be over on the other channel. I got until 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna go over there and do what I can do, and then I'll see y'all tomorrow. So y'all have a great night, and thanks for watching. And we're out. Oh, I'm sorry. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, I'll see y'all in a little bit.